gutted, you know. I went in there to take them titles back to my babies. They're not coming back. So yeah, I'm a little bit gutted, but you know, everyone seemed to enjoy the fight, and hopefully we can run it back. I'll leave that to Ben, but yeah, I think we can do that again.
Crazy night. First of all, congratulations to both of the fighters just for putting on possibly the fight of the year already. It was pretty special. That was intense. Wasn't an enjoyable watch for I think either of the teams. It was just unbelievable. I think look, the knockdown and maybe the point deduction that people will look back on and maybe question, maybe swung it in towards a draw, but Frazer should be incredibly proud. He showed a huge amount of guts. I feel like dominated the fight at times, but Fabio Wardley, he is the most... I've never seen a fighter out on his feet but still as dangerous as what he is. He's pretty special. It's incredible. His face was mashed up at times and he just kept coming, and he was always dangerous. But yeah, obviously gutted not to win. Felt that perhaps we did enough, but the main thing for British boxing, what an advert. That was incredible. Two absolute warriors, showed a huge amount of heart. Frazer will learn so much from that as his first real fight in the professional ranks. I think people forget, you know, his 9th professional fight, and yeah, probably did just enough, but can't argue with a draw. It was incredible spectacle, and yeah, it'd be great to see it again. And I think Fabio might need a bit of time. Looking at his face and his nose, he might need a bit of time there, but special night, and huge viewing figures, and I know just what an advert for British boxing.
Absolutely.
I'm a winner, and that's I'm gutted, you know. I'm gutted. I wanted them titles. I wanted to take them titles back to Burton-on-Trent, and I wanted them titles for my kids, you know. But you live and you learn, you know. I'm healthy. Like I said in a few interviews, just this past week I've had people real close to me lose family members, so I know that this is not pain, you know. That's real pain. I'm healthy. I've come through the fight. I've learnt a lot. I just hope this man to my left can guide me now. You know, this is up for boxing expertise to guide me in the right place, right direction, and I think I've shown that, you know, I can do something in this sport. I really can.
How impressed were you? Yeah, look, that fight, that was one for the books. I've said already that British title brings out a lot in people, and definitely between me and Frazer, it brought out the best in us. I think it was like you said there, it was a fight for the books, one for the histories, because we know how much that belt means to a lot of people, and how much obviously means to me and means to us, and we put on a hell of a show.
Absolutely. I mean, I really couldn't split it, to be honest. I feel like if he hadn't had that point taken off, you know, you could have lent towards Frazer, but he was hurt, more visible throughout the fight. Just when you thought he was just about to get, Fabio was about to get him out of there, he sort of turned the script, and I just said it, I think it's the best fight I've ever seen live. And, you know, Frazer started to get on top of him in the 11th and then missed with a shot, and it was just took all the energy out of him. It was unbelievable. So you can't really... You couldn't cry about a draw, to be honest. It was one of them fights that genuinely merited a draw.
Age aside, which fight do you feel has more potential out of the two?
What, say it again? Age
aside, I know that Frazer's age being 35, you might count that the potential might be gone, but if you put that to the side, who has more potential to do more at the higher level of the sport?
Hard to say, to be honest. Frazer, with the experience in the amateurs, I feel like he's going to get a lot from that fight, even though he won't want to be in another one of them because it was exhausting for him. But it's there's a few things he was doing wrong. He started quite fast, but he got dragged into a fight, and you know, growing from the experiences. I think he's done 10 before, but it's the first time doing 12. I know Fabio's the first time doing 12, but he's been in those competitive fights where there's needle in it, and there's like back and forth, and there's a huge occasion, lots of attention around it, and I feel like. That has given Frazer the confidence that he can go into into those 50-50 fights. He can be hurt, he can get off the deck and go again. And I think if they were to box again, I would lean towards Frazer.
Draw.
Fabio needed to keep his shape. He lost his shape the last quarter of the fight, and that's through the naivety that's probably got him to where it is in his professional career already. He's rugged, he's unpredictable, he's fearless, and when he got tired, he lost his shape. I think that's the furthest he'd been in his career. I think it was 7 rounds. It was the furthest he'd been at that point. For Frazer, it was his baptism of fire to get his professional experience, to get the rounds in, and this is the reason why these two didn't fight a few fights ago. He needed the experience. That was the best thing for both fighters. When these two fight again, I don't believe it goes the distance. I think it's a great fight. I think both fighters learned a hell of a lot, and it was the right result.
Who would you edge to then in a rematch?
In the rematch again, I would edge to Frazer because his shape stayed all the way through. I think Fabio's youth was what got him through the fight, his youth and everything else. But so when you're talking about edges, it's Frazer keeping his shape, Fabio his youth and everything, and his unpredictability and his courage made it a draw.
It was a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think I gave the last round to Wardley, and I had Wardley up by a round. So on my cards, by the time I calculated, it was a last round shootout, and I gave it to Wardley. But I wouldn't argue with the decision. There was a couple of rounds I didn't know which way to score. I had one 10-10 round, which I hate doing. But yeah, I think both guys will probably go back, watch the tape back, and go see where they made a couple of mistakes, and maybe think, could have not done that, and maybe I would have come out with a win. But new territory for both guys as well, we should say. Neither guy have been in that sort of fight, in that sort of distance, and been pushed that hard. So fair play to both men. I think they both fought brilliantly, and it was a joy to be ringside for.
What you saw from both men tonight, which one do you feel has more potential at the higher level of the sport?
It's a weird one because Frazer Clarke is the better boxer, but he still needs to make a lot of improvements in the pro game now to sort of get beyond the domestic level. Now, Wardley, he will make improvements. I think it took him a few rounds to get warm into the fight. His hands were a bit slow in the first couple of rounds. That's something that he would go back to the drawing board and work on. But I felt like he improved as the fight went on. The injury to his nose, I'm sure, must have been having a real effect on his breathing, and the eye started to close. Maybe he wasn't seeing the shot so well. He's got the ability to bite down the gum shield and grind it out. We know that for definite now. He's got proof in the podium where he's had to do it. But he doesn't want to leave too many miles in the clock doing that. So